I'm so glad you're calling. Thank you for making time.
Thank you for making time. I really appreciate this. So I've called you to have a little chat about. Uh, well, first of all, I should introduce you. If you kindly introduce yourself.
Yeah, I am Martin Peterson, the grandson of your patient, and honestly, it's been a godsend. It was an incredibly difficult week. As you know, I'm the only family that's left, and um, it's been really, really difficult to manage the caring and work at the moment. And it's been such a help to have you look after my grandma. I'm obviously really, really worried, and I wish I would have been able to be around. Um, but I really appreciate that you make time calling and to clarify some things. I have a lot of questions, and I know I need to keep on explaining things to her a lot, and you've been really great. But yeah, I need to understand everything properly myself to be able to do as much remotely as I can really. Um, yeah,
Okay. So obviously, we've been looking after your gran because she's come out of hospital with heart failure
yeah.
diagnosis. Have you got any questions about the diagnosis itself, or about the treatment, or?
I mean, I think I get the broad brush strokes. I believe doctor has given me the paperwork, um, and I managed to look a lot up myself. Uh, do you feel I mean, we talked before. Do you feel I'm missing anything at the moment?
Um, I think at the moment, from what you've told me so far, prior to this phone call, that the nurse has done a very decent job of looking after your mum. Uh, have there been any concerns with her care in the hospital at home, or any things you've really enjoyed about hospital at home? And what has your general experience of hospital at home been like?
I am incredibly grateful for it. I know it's been a reoccurring issue that she didn't understand why you were unable to give her the moment, and I know she's getting confused, and she kept on being worried about her, her her elder brother who was coming around, and she was worried that you'd report him. She somehow believes that he's not allowed to be there with the landlord. Um, I don't know. Uh, Is there any way to for you to arrive at the same time every day? Would that be possible at all?
So the way the service works is we don't give timed appointments, but we can make special dispensations when we know that there are going to be access issues for patients. And what we've noticed in the past that is that the timing of visits is often quite frustrating for people who
Mm.
are trying to make plans with their family, with their friends, even with their carers who might not be our carers. There might be their own carers, and also trying not to interrupt them during meal times, just like we wouldn't on the ward. Uh, with that said, we do also have to make sure that our patients are prioritized by how unwell each patient is, and that can be quite unpredictable sometimes. So, usually, what happens is if we are unable to make a special dispensation for anybody, we will try to um, take two approaches. One, to make sure we ring you half an hour, ring your mum or yourself or whoever's going to provide us with access half an hour before we're due to visit. And that happens regardless of what other dispensations we make, just so that you know that we're on our way. If you feel that you're still not getting the certainty you need about approximate visit times, we're aware that it's a bit like waiting in for the Amazon delivery driver sometime,
Yes.
and that it's very
Yeah.
much yeah, and it's very much you get your 12-hour slot and you don't know when you're going to be visiting that slot. I think one thing that's really important to remember Our telephone line is open from 8 a.m. The nurses generally have read up on all their cases by 8:30 in the morning. We more than welcome uh, patients, carers, relatives to ring up our phone line by 8:30 in the morning, and we can then ask the nurse what priority the patients are in, and also how that will affect the timing of the visit. It still doesn't mean that we can give you a specific to the hour, but it can give you a general idea of whether we be early morning, early afternoon, or late afternoon. For example, if the nurse has 5 visits, you might be the first call of the day if it's determined that your nan is the sickest, or you might be the last call of the day if actually she's the least sick. Uh, and so we communicate that to you quite readily every day by 8:30 if you rang into us to check because you were needing more security that day. And we're quite flexible every day with this kind of thing.
Oh, thank you. That's something I didn't know. I didn't realize, and I fully know that it's really hard to organize that kind of stuff. I used to deliver food myself. So no, that's really helpful, and I appreciate you can't change the time slot, but being able to reassure her and mentally prepare her, that I think is more important than anything else. It doesn't really matter when you arrive, as long as he's not worried about being indecent when she does. Um, Another thing that maybe I'm not clear. I know we've had the same person come for the last week. How can we can you tell me if it's going to be the same care provider? Will they be wearing uniform? Will they identify themselves? And how can I protect my grandma from um, being what's the word? Um, Subject to fraudulent nurses who may not have good intentions, or people
So, the,
pretending to be her caretakers. I'm really worried about that.
so that is a very, very valid concern. All our nurses will wear Trust ID, which they will show at the door before entry.
Mm.
And from my perspective, I know that people take a big risk letting us into their home. Uh, I can't always guarantee that it's the same nurse every single day. It sounds like your nan, sorry, such regularity, and I think it's brilliant because continuity of care is important, and building up a of trust and a relationship is very important. But the thing I can guarantee is that they will always self-identify at the door with their ID.
That's really reassuring. Thank you very much. Um,
I think I've lost you.
I I can still hear you. Also, I think said